welcome back to the Hacks and Wings podcast, where we talk everything about international students' life here in Canada. Today, we're going to talk about some tips and tricks that you can use to make your journey as an international student successful. I mean, basically about your studies and how you can, qualify for some scholarship to make your life pretty much easier for you in Canada. And I have two lovely guests here, and I'll let them introduce themselves. So I'm here with
Alfred Adenuga, and I'm currently a grad student in public administration at the University of Regina.
Hey everyone, my name is Happines Okeke. I'm a second year computer science student at the University of Regina.
Thank you and welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
So, Alfred, let me ask you, how have you been able to, manage with your studies and everything?
I think the first step is treating my studies as my first priority. Remembering that is actually the reason I am here. There's a reason it's called international student and not like international person, because the student component has to be there. And you being a student and your success as a student kind of like translates, or is expected to translate into everything else. So I think for me, that's the first thing, is always having my studies as a priority. And then once you treat something like a priority, I think everything else, it gets smoother from there, because you know what to do when you need to do it. You can clearly identify your goals and objectives and know what you need to do to work towards them. So, I think putting my studies as my first priority.
First than anything.
Yeah.
Right, sure. How about you, Happiness?
Like I first said, your priorities. Yeah, I always put my education as my priority, and I kind of make time for everything. Yeah. So if I know that this thing or anything I have planned out that is going to take most of my time, I just try to cut it off. Yeah. So right now, my social life is really, really doing very bad. But honestly, like they said, you work hard now, you enjoy in the future. So that's like my mindset. So
Sure. But Alfred, if I may ask you, like, what particular thing would you say you've done that has really helped you to succeed in most of your classes? I mean, I'm in some of the classes with you, and I know you are one of the best students. So.
I don't know about best, but I definitely, I would say I tried. I think for me at the beginning was actually taking a course I wanted to take. So I did my undergrad in economics. I loved economics. I enjoyed economics. And I think doing something you love does not always feel like work. And then now I'm in Masters of Public Administration. And once I finished my undergrad, or as I was finishing, I knew that I wanted to work in the public sector, as like a policy analyst or policy advisor type of role. So that was the next step. So it was first of all, doing what I love doing. Yeah. So it didn't feel like work. And I think it was evident in the sense that of all my classes, especially in undergrad where there's so many electives, I did better in my econ courses than I did in my electives.
Because you love economics.
Yeah, I love economics. So that did not feel like work. It came easier to me.
Wait, I've been quiet in this podcast, but I actually have to talk here. But you said it doesn't feel like work. Even that I'm taking CS, sometimes I find it difficult. I question myself, Happiness, why are you even taking CS, even though I love it so much?
Right.
So haven't you taken a course that is very difficult? How did you tackle that?
I did. So once I got to 400 level econ classes, those really challenged everything, because given how economics works, it could be very theoretical and very abstract. Yeah. And I struggle with abstract concepts a lot. And once I stopped relating the contents to real life, then things just started becoming more difficult. And at that point, I already knew my GPA was set. I just needed to make sure I did not fail. Econ 401 and 402. Those were absolutely brutal. But so yes, I have those courses did feel like work. Because I remember I'll be done work during the day and I'm like doing an assignment that's worth 5% till like 11:30 at night.
Ooh.
It was absolutely crazy, and there's no guarantee that I'm going to score well on it, because like it was very new concepts to me, very abstract concepts. The teachers tried, but like I was not getting it. And like I think I got stuck in this like self-reinforcing cycle of I don't get it, I'm trying to get it, I still don't get it, so I get discouraged. And like sometimes like there was an assignment that like I just straight up did not answer a couple of questions. I just handed it in because I was like, I can't do this anymore.
You're tired.
I was tired.
Don't you have like friends in that department that you reach out to? Because I do.
So the thing with those two courses is that, so I did honors economics. So it was like an honors major, which meant my only other classmates were other honors students who were in the same boat as me, basically.
In the same boat.
And there were only 5 of us.
Oh.
So it's a really small class because only a few people get to take those classes. And we're all just trying to figure it out at the same time. Granted, there were some people who got it better than others. There are some people who had like better work ethic. So like the outcomes were different. But I won't lie, those classes broke me. They broke me, but like in the end, I got the degree and like got the, whatever convocation honors I was supposed to get, and here we are.
Would you say, maybe before I go to happiness, would you say there was a specific thing that you did that made life? Anyways, let me get to happiness and come back to you. Right, so happiness, how about you?
Well, for me, like coming into computer science, I'm always someone that I've always loved tech. Like I've always liked tech since I was young. I'm like, I got this. And then first semester, it wasn't too bad. I did very well. And then second semester, I had to take the CS classes, 115. It's really tough. Like as you're entering the class, people are already telling you, other CS students are already telling you that, after you finish this class, you're going to drop CS and go to business. I was already like, what? They're already discouraging me. Like even some of the people that I started with, at the end of the day, like when we were in second semester, they switched to business. I found myself as like the only person. And then in my group of friends, I was like the only person doing CS. And most people were doing business, kinesiology. And most Nigerians you meet, they will always tell you, CS is really hard in University of Regina. Don't even bother. You will still switch to either diploma or you move to business. But me, I know why I came here and I know what I want to do. I'm like, no matter how hard it is, I'm not going to give up. I'm still going to keep pushing. And I'll just reach out to people that are better than me. So what I did was, I started hanging out with other students that are smarter. There's some students that they know how to pass. Like, it's not even as if they're very, very intelligent. Because, like, they will provide you with answer. You tell them, explain this thing to me. They'll be like, you wouldn't even understand what they're saying. So, at least most of the time, when I have assignments and I don't understand, I just reach out to those students. And when they meet up with me in 2 minutes, assignment is done. And maybe I've been struggling for 5 hours, 4 hours trying to do this assignment. Whenever we meet up, they do the assignment. So that was what helped me making friends in CS that are smarter than me or more intelligent than me. And so I do as if I don't know anything. Even though I know it, I just want to learn from that person. And that was what really helped me. And I always try to do my assignment because like most of the schoolwork carries most mark. Like the assignments, the midterms. I think if you do well in assignments and labs, you do well in your exam. So I always put in more efforts in my assignment. And then during the exam, I know I have to try to get at least half of the mark to be able to get an 80s, because like I always set this goal of, I must get an 80, nothing less than 80, because I want my GPA to be above 80. But now I'm targeting 90, and after year is the boss. So like you guys.
No. I 80s were a good goal for me, because like I don't know, like
scholarships now.
Yeah, the scholarships were great.
Yeah.
So like I always tried to keep my GPA above.
Yeah, but it's not easy.
Above 80, and like by God's grace it was doable, and like actually I convocated with like the Faculty of Arts Dean's Medal.
Wow.
For like, but then that was for like a mix of academic achievement and community involvement. So like I think they kind of weighed both of them
Really
together.
How were you actually managing it? Because he was excelling in academics
and
as working on campus with
Right.
volunteering, which is difficult because it's either you are more into volunteering, then when it comes to the academics you're slacking a bit.
You have to find a balance.
Exactly. So the balance is the most important thing.
It really is, and like I think the reason I was not a 90s student and only an 80s student is because I was doing all this other stuff, because
you were given that 10% to the 90% to the other stuff.
Yeah, like I used to joke, I'm like, the difference between like a good student and a great student, I'll call myself a good student because I didn't always go the extra mile.
What
if you don't have the time to go to extra? Like me, I don't have that time
to go the extra.
I do my best, but I don't really
it's how it is. And like honestly, there's a saying you hear in university a lot. They call it C's get degrees. That is not I don't like essentially subscribe to it, but I get the idea behind it. Because at the end of the day, the paper that you get is going to say your name, is going to say the degree. If you get a distinction, it would be like, with distinction. Or if you get distinction with honors, it'd be like with distinction with honors. But like at the end of the day, it's still that
paper.
What do you have here upstairs?
And then like how you applied it up there. I felt like for me, my priority was gaining life experience as well, because I think university is like one of the best opportunities to do that, especially as an international student, where it's like you bring a whole new different perspective into a new world. So you're living the life you already knew and trying to like build a new life for yourself in a new environment. And I think that's just a very unique opportunity for like to expand your capacity as a person. And for me, that meant like getting involved in things around campus. So like I was on the students union for a bit. I was in like several like university committees and all that good stuff. And like the experiences I gained from there were very, very valuable. And like if I just like, I guess if I put those extra hours into school, studying, maybe I would have done like 6 or 7% better on average. But that does not translate to like the massive self-development I was able to go through and being involved. Now there are people who
made you a better person.
Exactly, which has made me a better person. That said, I would like to state that there are people who can get 90s and also do community involvement. But not everybody is going to be like
it's
that.
Really tough.
And that
really tough.
was not me. So,
because like, I feel like it's going to be very tough because something has to like
give.
You have to give up on something. It has to be your social life or one other thing. Because like for me, I don't always socialize. Even you would think Happiness is a very jovial social person. I'm always smiling, but you barely see me in parties or going out. Just once in a while. Even when I'm back, I'm just in my room, and then in the night by 2 a.m. I'm awake. Like this, I have 4 jobs. So like in terms of managing time and work and study, I know how it feels. I know how hard it is.
Yes.
So I know it's not very easy, but one thing is that if you are determined, you can actually do it. But yeah, let's see. After this semester, I know if I can get up to 90s, but that's one of my goals for this semester. But let's see how it goes.
For me, I made a commitment to not let my social life suffer for any reason.
I mean,
So I was doing all those things
once
and
in
I
a
was
while
like,
though, but like when I say it's suffering, it's like I'm not always
Always
engaging.
active.
Right.
Because anytime I do that, I feel really drained.
no,
Yes,
yeah.
I always feel really
get
drained.
That. I get that.
But I still hang it like church. I do go
Yeah.
for church activities.
Fair enough. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that
and I
makes
also
sense.
I manage a Google club on campus, so like that's like a social activity for you.
There you go. Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, I just knew like I think in my like heyday I was like I'll be taking 5 classes, which was considered full course load, but doing all these like extra
5?
stuff on the side. And the campus bar, I was there like 3 nights a week still.
Oh, wow.
But like just to get, it was fun to socialize. It was fun to like be
Alfred, you
involved.
don't have that much friends. When you say socialize, I've never seen you socializing. You're always working. He was
You see, but he's still saying
an
he's socializing.
How?
Where have
Well,
been
you see, that
socializing?
was that. Okay, to be fair, that was like undergrad. As I got older, I became a little bit more of
As you
like,
got older, Alfred.
Alfred is not even old.
no. But like, okay, we need to put things in perspective. This was like almost 6 years ago.
Okay.
So I started
When you
undergrad.
were fresh
I
from
started
university.
6 years ago, and then I guess I went through that phase where I was like, you know, do everything, chase everything, be bubbly, all that good stuff. And then like probably like beginning of last year, I finally found like my core group. And then it's like those I found like my meaningful friendships, and then that's
cool.
where I started investing in. I cut back on a lot of the activities I was doing because now I don't have as much time really, because like I don't know, it's just how it is. But like I still made sure that no matter what, those friendships that were important to me did not suffer, and so just to make sure that, you know,
I feel like
at no
it
point
has
did
to
I
be
feel
like
like
a
I was
mutual understanding
overworking.
between the friendship.
Friends,
Because like
exactly.
some
Oh, yeah.
people, they'll be like, you're not coming for this. They wouldn't understand that you worked so hard.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't think it was lost on my friends how hard I
like,
was working
yeah.
on everything I was doing. I don't know. I still think there weren't many cases where I said no. I was typically still down because like
For
I
everything,
think
like all the time.
most things, because like one thing I realize about me is like I work very efficiently. So I don't need a lot of time to achieve a result.
Results.
All I know is like
With a small time, you can do whatever you have to do.
within a small amount of time, you know, I can get things done. And like maybe that realization is like kind of dangerous because it could be a slippery slope. Because it's like if I only need like 1 hour to turn out like an 85 at minimum, if someone needs my time for like 2 and I still have more time, then like why not? Like let's do it. Because it's not like the 2 that I spent with you would get me too much greater.
Right.
Sure.
I think in economics they call that like marginal benefits. that
Speaking economics.
marginal utility, that general idea.
Okay.
We're
So
applying the economics class.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So it's like I found the optimal time to maximize my utility. Yeah.
Teach us.
Ha.
We have an economics professor
Yeah.
on our podcast, so why not take the advantage for him to teach us? Right. For me, I think it's been challenging for me combining school and my social life. I feel that the like I don't have much time on my side. And what I'll go out to go and chill, I would prefer to sleep.
No, I feel
Yeah.
that. I think sleep.
Sometimes like, if I realize that going out will stress me, I'd rather stay at
I
home.
rather
Like,
sleep.
Yeah.
cause like I'll feel exhausted.
No, sleep is very,
Especially if
very
it's on a
important.
Sunday and then the next day I have school or work. I'm like, nah.
Nah, no,
Scratch that.
it's very important.
So would
I
always
love
choose-
sleep.
I don't know what I would say.
I
would
don't
always choose
really sleep
over
a
my
lot.
Social life.
I mean, I don't know. Like a social life doesn't have to be too like.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think we have to like deep it too much. Like, I don't know. Say like a couple of weeks ago, my friend Abe and I we went to, there was like a Amala Fest at a church.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah,
post.
so we went
It's
for
really
like
nice.
Amala
2
Fest.
hours. Yeah.
Okay.
And then that was like,
That
okay,
was
that was
cool.
great. That was socializing, you
And
know.
you
But
enjoyed
like,
your food.
and I enjoyed it. It was like
Exactly.
2 hours out of my Sunday. That's it. Or like in the summertime, it's like, let's go for ice cream. That takes like an hour at most because no one's having ice cream for that long, you know.
Fair
Or like
enough.
you go for a walk. That's
I
socializing.
think
It's
you're
benefit
right.
to you.
It doesn't
Yeah.
take any more
It doesn't
much
take-
from you.
It doesn't take
Much
too
from-
much, you know.
Yeah,
So
just the little you can.
Yeah.
Sure.
again, as long as you're like investing in the friendships that matter to you and are going to nourish you, then like
I agree with you.
yeah.
It's true, yeah. So I think it's sometimes a bit challenging for some people, especially when fresh students come, just coming from maybe an African country or maybe, of course, any other country that the grading system is actually different from this place. Even how lecturers teach. I must tell you, in my first week in class, I was totally lost. Because I had to, the lecturer was, that's how he talks. But then I had to catch up with how fast he was talking and the new
Fast.
accent.
Yours is just fast. Some people have accents that are very, very difficult to understand. So yeah,
It was-
yours is just being fast. Fast is okay, but like there are some you wouldn't even understand.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
bit challenging. Alfred, what do you have to say about like people who come in that they are having that challenge in their first few months?
You see, I think before you come, every university is going to have like an undergraduate calendar. So in the months when I was like waiting for my visa and such,
yeah.
I got very familiar with that document.
You did
And-
so well. You went to that extent.
I did.
Some of us don't know.
I reached out to
Oh,
my
the-
pastor's daughter on Instagram, and she told me register for this course, and I already started. Same thing,
Yeah.
yeah.
So like familiarize yourself with that document, and like in that undergraduate's calendar, you can see your program and all the classes you need to complete that program. So I looked at all that and I registered for my courses based on that document
Okay.
because as an international student, the thing is like every class is expensive. You don't always have the liberty of like, oh, I'm going to drop this course. Because you drop the course, say you drop it when it's like 50% refund. You've already lost at
Half of
least
your money.
$1,000.
And then W grade on your transcript.
And then and then there's a one where it's like W grade
That
on your
almost happened to
transcript.
me on the first semester.
Yeah. So
Yeah, because like I think I wanted to drop the course already started and they have already done a couple of assignments, and then I went to science services, and then they registered me for the class. When I got into the class, I'm like, what is going on? They already done like 3 assignments, and then I went to drop it, and then I realized that I would charge 50%, and I was also given the W grade. And then I went to meet them and I told them, this is what happened, and it wasn't my fault because they were the one that registered me, and then they refunded me my money. But I still have that W grade. Although they said by the time I graduate, they will remove it.
yeah,
Like,
I think that happened to me, but like the course was not for credit anyways. But
but
yes,
I got my money
familiarizing
back.
yourself with that document, because that document will also show like the dates, the ad drop dates and all that,
Dates,
so you can be familiar with it. So yeah, you don't have the luxury of like dropping courses really. So knowing exactly what you need to take and when you need to take it. Is very vital information. And then depending on your school, at least for the University of Regina, they post what each So like there would be like 70 to 79% means this, and this is what it corresponds to. So just knowing that information before coming, it's so easy to find. Just look up. In my case, it was always Regina undergraduate calendar, and then you look at it, and then you could see all the other rules that they have. Rules regarding like plagiarism, rules regarding, just name it. It's all
Everything
there.
is there.
And like, you don't even have to make it work. Like, you don't have to make it a chore, really. So it's like, maybe if I read like 10 pages because I'm bored, at least you're still learning something,
Yeah.
Or like, if you look at the courses you need to take for a program, you can like go to like the website of the, like in my case, I could go to like the economics website to get like a description for the course number, because you would see the course number in the undergraduate calendar, but you wouldn't exactly know what it is. So it's like, go familiarize yourself, really. And I think that like provides a great foundation for everything. So that like by the time you're here and you're in it, things are easier. I know in my case as well, sorry, I might be talking too much, but
That's fine.
I started school in the winter semester in January, and because of visa delays, I was already like 2 weeks behind.
Oh, shit.
So I was already registered in courses because I already knew what I needed to take. I was registered. So I emailed all the profs already because I had access to, I guess, your courses. I emailed them like, hey, first of all, visa issues, so I'm coming late. What do I need to know? What do I need to read? I know I came to Canada on like Saturday, and by Monday I had a quiz for one of the classes.
Damn.
So it's like
you just landed into a quiz.
I landed into a quiz, but like I knew it was coming.
Yeah, you had prepped for it.
And like I could see the materials on your courses, so it's, and like luckily it was like a math class, not like my first writing assessment was also due that Friday. I did not do great in it because it's like it's a whole different style, a whole different
MLA,
ball
AP.
game, citations as well.
It's quite challenging in your first semester.
It is. I remember I got like on that first written assignment, it was like a 7/12, which was like 50-something%, and I'm like, oh God. And that was like, even though that was not my first assessment, that was like the first grade I got back, and I'm like, oh my God. I started university
I just remembered my calculus.
with a 50-something%. I'm like, oh God, I can't tell my parents this, because like a passing grade is 50, and I only got 50-something% on this first assignment. But like at that point, now I know.
Now you know.
Now there was nothing I could have done about it. Because like it was a unique situation. I knew I didn't have time to go to like library services for writing support and all that good stuff. But
You
I
could
don't
have
know.
written to the prof though. Maybe another chance.
It wasn't worth enough.
Oh,
And like for me, I believe in like picking my battles. I'm not going to like fight with a prof or a mark for something that's worth like 5%. It's just not worth it, because like I think you're trying to save your good graces for like much later when it's like actually counts. And also at that point, he doesn't know me enough to give me an extent to like make an exception. So it's like, how do I know this? How do I know, that kind of thing. And it's like, it's just not worth it. So pick the right battles and you'll be fine.
You mentioned something about calculus. Do you want to share with us?
Okay, yeah, same thing. Like when I first started, I mean, back in Nigeria, even before coming here, I was in Unilag and I was in maths department. Yeah, I mean, I would say I'm very good with math. Like I know how to solve a math question or math problem, but like you said, the teaching was quite different from back in Nigeria. So at the beginning of the class, I was lagging behind. So what helped me was reaching out to my church because we had like Mr. Mike and he was tutoring me for that class. My first meeting, what did I even get? Yours is better. I say my own.
We want to know. We want to know.
It was so low. It was even lower than an average score. I cried and I called my brother. I'm like, oh my God, I was panicking. I was freaking out. But because I know that this is something I've done before. I'm supposed to be very good with it. And after that day, I told myself that, no, I'm going to pick up. And then I emailed the prof. I explained to her, and she gave us a second chance during our exam. She added an extra mark for me because, like, I told her that I was battling with this course and it's my first semester. I don't know. I feel like spring semester is always like a little bit easier than fall and winter.
It depends on the course. It's very
like-
compressed,
it's-
so it can be
and-
easy,
yeah.
it can be difficult.
Yeah, it's both ways because, like, I just came and it was spring and it's just 1 month and I have to meet up with everything. So I emailed her.
Oh, you came in the spring semester.
Yeah, I came in
Oh.
the spring. I went to her office hours. I told her, and she's like, "Okay, fine. During exam, I'll see what I can do." Luckily for me, the result came out, and I saw an 81. I'm like, "Ha! Glory to God!" Like, I thought I wasn't gonna do well, but that's the thing. It's always sometimes it's hard at the beginning, but at the
Yes, it
end,
is
you always
hard.
end up doing
It is
good.
hard from
I
the
think,
beginning.
like, another thing, it's like, honestly, especially in like your first semester, it's not the end of the world
Exactly.
if you
Yeah.
don't do
True.
as great.
Yeah. I think sometimes the first semester results makes you sit up more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Funny
yeah, no,
enough, after, like, it was during the fall semester last year that I realized that no, this thing is not easy. When I took CS 115, people in CS, they know that course. If you pass it, that means you will pass other CS classes.
Right.
That course, nah.
And
'Cause
in my case, it was English 100.
English 100
that
wasn't bad.
humbled me.
Yeah, most people, there is like English 100.
I'm a native English speaker, you know, in like the Nigerian curriculum and like I guess whatever all the curriculums I took, there's that emphasis on grammar and pronunciation and all that good stuff. So like I have a very strong command of the English
Oh,
language,
yeah,
I think.
you do.
Anyways, I think there were a number of
the
factors
writing.
that really got me. So, as I mentioned, I came 2 weeks late to school.
Yeah.
This class was a 7:30 a.m. class. So that's another thing. So when you're registering for courses, I think of everything I knew, I wasn't really paying attention
To the time.
to time or wasn't adjusting to the reality of how early 7:30
Winter.
a.m. is, especially in the winter.
Winter.
Because it is still dark.
It
And
feels like
cold.
it's just 4
Like,
a.m.
you wouldn't even
Yes.
be able to stand up from
It
the
is
bed.
dark. It is cold. I was jet lagged, and I had to be up at 7:30 a.m. 3 times a week. I had no problems doing that because it's like, oh, you're paying a lot of money, you have to show up to class. So I'd show up to class always on time, but I found that by 8 o'clock I was falling asleep. Anything the teacher said after 8 o'clock did not enter.
The 7:30 class.
The 7:30.
8 o'clock.
Yeah.
So like just 30 minutes into the class.
30 minutes into the class, I was done. And it's not even a long class. It was a 50-minute class. We only had to be there from
50
7:30
minutes,
to
okay.
8:20.
That's why it's 3
But
times in a
between
week.
3 times
Yeah.
a week. But between 8 and 8:20, nothing enters.
Reading poem, analyzing essays.
It was so I did this for basically the first 2 months. And then we wrote a midterm exam and I got like 60 something
Right.
on it and I was like, okay. The first step in all of this is to set my sleeping schedule
Oh yeah.
to Canadian time.
Oh.
Because I had not had a
right.
chance to catch up.
Yeah.
And it's going to sound absolutely ridiculous, but this is like almost 2 months in, and I'm still running like a Nigerian sleep
I think
cycle.
I didn't have a challenge with that though. When I came, I just automatically switched.
No, but like I guess I came here and it was like I was here on a Saturday. By Monday morning, I had to be in class
Stress.
Yeah.
Did you
early,
take 5 classes?
and I was taking 5
Ah,
classes.
that's why.
I came in
5.
into the deep end as
Even
quickly as
3.
possible. Like not even testing the waters. It's like let's just do it. Let's just do it. And so the first step that was like a wake up call for me. Really, that's like okay. I need to get my sleep rhythm
Pattern
proper
change, yeah.
because if in a 50-minute class you're missing 40% of the content, you're not going to go far, and you're just going to have 60s on 60s on 60s until like it's too late.
Yeah, that's.
But luckily, that was like a nice turning point for me, and like I didn't end that class with an 80, but like considering where I was and where I finished, it was great. It was great.
They told me from the beginning. I already knew what I was entering.
Yeah, and then like I after that, I remember a couple of weeks later, I get a letter in the mail. They're like, "You did great in this class. You should consider doing English honors."
Oh,
The way I hissed, I was like, "This class put me through all the hell available in the world."
now you want me to
And now you want me to commit to this? I'm not doing it. But yeah, so like,
then it means you put in much effort.
I had to. There was no choice.
You had your
But
option.
essentially, the message is those things are going to happen.
Yeah.
It is, university is a brand new experience
It is.
for many people. You can get all the advice that is available on the planet until you experience it. And you're going to have those moments. Because I wish I could say that was like the last one of those like wake up calls that I had. But no, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Tougher ones keep coming.
Yeah.
Tougher ones, like I mentioned econ earlier, or like some statistics course that like I knew statistics. I just could not pass a quiz with more than a 55%. And I did my first 3 quizzes. My highest score was 55. I was like, I think I got like 50, 53, 55. And I'm like, no, I know this stuff. Like, there's no reason for me
To get this.
to get this. And I'm like, all right, you know what? Switch up. Like you have to act like you know what you're doing here. Midterm comes along, get a 90 there, and then just turn everything around. But like, point is, those moments are going to happen, and then that's where you need to have an honest conversation with yourself, and know essentially
Strengths and
what am I trying to. What is my goal really out of this class? And luckily, because all your syllabus is there from the start, you already know how many % each thing is worth, and you know
Exactly. That's
what's
another
your
thing.
you know what
You have
your
to take your
realistic
syllabus
goals
very
are,
seriously.
because it's like the Constitution. They don't really deviate from the syllabus. Go to the office hours. If you because like depending on the class, the profs have the opportunity to curve the grades up. So your final grade might be higher than what you actually earned.
Oh, okay.
But
And
then
some
that's
too have the opportunity.
And
like
again-
some
to
too-
curve down.
Yeah.
So you hope in your case they're going to curve up, but when they curve up, you hope you'll be carried
Along.
along with it. So if they like, so I feel like the way some profs do this, I have not actually asked a prof if they do this or
I
not.
just remembered one experience. When I was taking one math class, I would always go for office hours so that this prof would know my face.
Yeah.
Thinking that he would upgrade my grade. He never did.
He never
The
did.
grade was not upgraded.
He would see me and he's like, "Hi, Happiness." And he was, he went to MIT.
Oh,
A very smart prof. I was hoping for him to give me higher than 80. This man, he would look at me like, "Hi, Happiness, hi." But he still gave me what was in his mind. I was like,
but like still
wow.
no, it's important because like some profs they will call it participation mark.
Yeah.
But that is essentially a tool. In my opinion, I feel like that is a tool for them to increase your grade at the end.
Oh, I
"Oh
see.
yeah, the 10%."
Yeah, so it could be like, and then how do you end the
Attendance.
participation mark? By attending and by
Yes,
asking
answering
for help.
questions.
The visibility goes a very long way.
Yeah, it
And like
helps.
the moment, I think I clocked that in like at the end of my first year. So by my second year, even from where I sit in class, is so that the prof always has a direct line of sight to me. So they know that
You were very
I am.
strategic
Oh,
about
I was
that.
so strategic. And like with how university works, like typically once you start sitting somewhere, that's your seat for the entire semester. People don't really move around much. So like always my goal at the beginning of every semester, I would get in like 5 minutes or so early.
To get a very good
You sit at the
spot.
front.
No, not at the front. You don't always want to, if you sit at the front, it's like you're trying too hard. But you don't want to sit too much at the back. You sit kind of in the middle. And then say yeah, I always like to sit towards like where if the teacher was pointing their right hand,
See.
I would be I'd be the first person they would see, or I would be in their field of vision.
Oh, you were very strategic. About
Very
it.
strategic
Wow.
about it.
So like this. So you've just made the
Yeah, essentially. So it's like if like this is the middle of the room, this is where the teacher is gonna stand. It's like, okay, yeah. So like just that visibility and whatnot, and I think I don't know. I would like to credit it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Cool.
All right. Were you actually visiting the library? Like, did you use the campus libraries for your academic work?
Look at me. That library. That question is both ways.
It changed depending on the semester because each semester is different.
Oh yeah.
You know, the courses you're taking have different demands from you. So there are some semesters I used the library, some I didn't bother, some I used a different library. Like, I just did whatever I needed to do to succeed. But the library is a very, very important resource that you should try at least once. If it works for you, you can try it again. But, like, it's not always going to work, depending on the semester.
The only reason why I go there is if I want to use the computer or print something. Or sometimes book a room. But these days it's always crowded. Like, so many people. No space. Like,
That's true.
Nah,
That's
and
true.
it's sometimes noisy, so you might find it difficult to read if you're someone that likes to read in a quiet environment.
Place. Yeah, just
But
like
yeah,
me.
then it gets quiet at some point. So
I think I use the online resource, like
Yeah.
the online bit of the library. I mean,
or you go to the top floor, like the fifth floor.
the
It's
fifth floor.
mostly quiet.
Okay. I usually use like I just check it on
Oh, the
online.
resource.
Like for their resources, yeah.
For the resources online, and it's pretty much easy.
Me, I
Just get the keywords. And
sometimes I want to have like different screens to do my work, just to multitask. I'll open this textbook here, and so I just go there to use the computers.
Oh, okay.
That's
I
the only
see.
reason I go to the library.
Like I know for me, there was like a time when I was struggling to get any work done in my apartment or anywhere else.
Oh wow.
I'm not one of those people that can like function
know
in a
your
coffee
bed.
room. Like I never studied on my bed. I thought that was like a big joke, is like attempting to study on my bed.
You will slip off. Like for me, I don't know, but like,
Yeah,
for
no,
me,
I'll
I have a
sleep off.
workstation, so
You have
Yeah.
a workstation.
I just go
I
to
do
my
both, depending if I really want to like have a very
it's just, like,
comfortable,
Right.
relax. I do on my bed.
on the
but
bed.
most of the time,
I call that deceiving
Nothing
myself.
productive is happening on
I'm
my
telling
bed.
you, I'll slip off.
But yeah, no. So for me, like the library was great because it provided a different option
Yeah, and then there are people around
to
you
get work
too.
done. And like for me, seeing other people working
Studying will
motivated me
you.
to work.
Yeah.
So that was the purpose of going to the libraries, because
Yeah,
I'm
same
around
here.
other people
Yeah.
who are studying, so I'm forced to study.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
if I'm not
Makes you
studying,
feel
I look
like,
like an
oh,
idiot.
wow.
You know? Yeah.
People are living
True.
Exactly. No,
Yeah.
that's exactly it.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like
how
these
you
people are
feel.
serious. They paid their tuition
Yeah.
and they want to get the most of it.
Yeah.
Yet look at you. You're not studying and you're not working.
You're playing around.
Yeah.
Right. Did you also say you use the library or no?
Yeah, I do use it only when I want to use the computer or just like maybe to spend time before my next class. But most times I study at home because like I have a workstation at home.
You have a workstation at home. Right. Have any of you used the writing services on campus before?
Yeah, I use them in English 100. That was like part of my turnaround story with English 100, was using the writing tutorial center. Just because like, I guess they're more familiar with what professors are expecting
Okay.
than
If
I
you
could
can just
be.
tell us, maybe some people don't know what exactly is the writing tutorial. What is it about?
So essentially, there's like a center on campus. I think they have like dedicated hours during
You
the
can
week.
book an appointment online for it.
Right. Yeah. Book an appointment. Typically, you bring what you've already written. They're not going to write it for you.
They review the essay.
They review what you've written and give you pointers to make it
Feedback,
stronger.
yes.
And like, it's advisable to like do this well before it's due. So yeah, like you're not in a crunch.
Exactly.
And you're rushing them. I know that good stuff. So yeah.
Sure.
Where for me, I've used it yeah, I have good and bad experience with it actually. Because like when I started English 100, I was like, oh, I'm gonna meet writing tutors to help me review my essays. The first one they did, I actually got a very good grade. I think I got a 70 something my first essay, but I'm like, no, that's too low. I want something like 80s. I always aim for 80s. And I went to my prof, and for the second one, I went to the tutoring center and I got lesser than the first one.
Oh.
And I was like, what happened?
What happened?
Like, and
I
then
was
when
using it so that I mean
yeah,
my grades will be
yeah,
better.
I thought my grade would be higher than the old one. And then the teacher is like, you shouldn't have done this. I'm like, this is what they told me at the writing center. And then she's like, that's weird. And most of those people, they're also students. So most of them are like TAs. So after that experience, what I started doing was, after meeting them, I meet my teacher to also review before I submit the final assignment. So it helped.
Yeah, I think that way will really help. You're gonna say something?
I mean, so with that, that's where the advantage of like doing the work well before it's due comes in. Because if you're going to have time to see the tutorial center and to see the prof,
Especially English one.
because the prof is not really going to help you a day before it's due.
Yeah.
No,
Sometimes not
feel
even
like-
2 days
Yeah.
before it's due. So it's like
dare not
well
True.
before they need to see that you've put in the effort, you're working hard, and you're
Yes.
actually serious.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and
So-
then before it makes it look like, oh, you just dumped it.
Exactly.
You just picked it up and you realize
Usually
you're
it
struggling.
takes me like days to write my English 100 essay. It takes like 4 to 3 days. And then I'll meet one of my friend that is also very good with English. And then I'll meet the writing tutor. Because I was so scared. Everybody's like, English 100, you can easily fail it. I'm like, the same English we do in Nigeria. So I was always giving people to review my essay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder why, because like, you know, at the undergraduate level, English 100 is like the one course where it's like you're allowed to fail 3 times. Other courses, you can only fail it, I think, twice.
Yeah,
or
I
maybe
think
once.
so.
But English 100, they know how difficult it is.
Then it's really difficult.
It depends on who you talk to.
Depends
like,
on
it's
your
always
prof
going to
at
be
the
a
same
mixed
time.
bag, and the prof. Because
Yeah.
like basically every university student has to take English 100. So sometimes those class sizes are big, sometimes they're
Yeah.
small. So like, I'm like, you never know really. You just
I feel like my prof wasn't really a big deal. You just have to like know how to talk to her. Always go for office hours and you'll be good. Because like I always mentioned to her that I want an 80 in this course. And then she gave me 80 on the dot. I don't even know if it affected it. Like I was always telling her that I want an 80, I want scholarship. And then she gave me 80 on the dot.
I think that that's
I
a
sure
really
didn't affect
great mark, because like at that level, I think that's also one of those courses where if like the class average is too high, the prof has to explain why the average is high.
Yes, true.
So it's like they don't really give 80s. They
On
will
the dot.
find
I
something.
was like-
so like no, you absolutely did. You should have done English honors in addition to
No way.
in addition to that, like.
All right. So, would you say that, I mean, depending on your performance, it would guarantee whether you're getting a scholarship or not? Like, how easy is it to get scholarship?
This University of Regina.
Of course, my dear.
From experience, I mean, they have. Alfred should start. Alfred has more experience. Before I talk about my own,
Most of my
Like, I'm
scholarship.
actually asking this so that just in case, I mean, some people
Anybody
are coming,
wants.
and just in case you find yourself that, oh, you're having a financial burden, because when you start, like you couldn't get job right away, so all your finances, I mean, that you bought, everything has gone into your rent, your bills, and now school fees is becoming a challenge. Like, how easy will it be for you to get a scholarship to support yourself?
It depends on many factors, but the one thing I know for sure is you can't depend on having a scholarship.
yeah,
Because you never know how many applicants are going to be with each application, especially now where it's like schools getting more expensive. I feel like more people are going to start turning to
looking
scholarships.
into it. Yeah, they actually
than
have a website for scholarships.
would have before. So I guess more applicants. It's so
more competition.
the odds are not as So I would say first of all, don't like bank on it really. That said, the more community involvement you have, the greater your chances. Because most of the scholarships I got, were as a result of community involvement, not really the academics. Because I think the only ones I got that were a result of the academics were like the economics honors scholarships. Everything else was community involvement.
Did you apply or they give you automatically?
Some I applied for, some I got automatically.
Yeah, because I know they give, and to be very honest, it's not really a lot, but it's something.
Yeah,
like,
it's always something.
I mean,
like,
here every dollar counts.
I already checked their Sam's website. I already see like 1,500. And most scholarships, you have to have a GPA of like 70 and above.
Yeah,
like
70
a total
and above.
GPA of 70. And then they have silver scholarship 85, deans like 90s to be able to get those ones. And then some scholarship you must have paid tuition before you even qualify for getting it. I just realized that one because there was one I qualified for last semester they didn't give me just because I didn't pay tuition on time. Ooh. So most times too,
you need to also have the money.
Yeah.
So you use the
like
money to take the money.
Yeah.
Why is it now a scholarship if you have to pay tuition to be able to get it?
If I have it, I wouldn't have needed it.
Me, I just apply for external scholarships. That's what I do.
See, one thing I would suggest is like, I guess even before coming, you can like the scholarship website. You can see like all the awards available. You can filter maybe by your program or whatever, and then you can just look, get a general idea of what the requirements are going to be. There's somewhere you must have taken a certain number of classes before you can get
credits.
So like for the most part, you must have completed like 30 credit hours, which is like, how many classes is that?
10 courses. 10.
Yeah, you must have completed 10 courses before you start becoming eligible.
True.
For scholarship. So it's like, if you come in,
that's like
it's very difficult to get a scholarship in your first year.
Yes.
So it's from your second year
that you can start. Like now, I qualify for some scholarships.
Exactly, because now you have the credit hours requirement. So like, I think when you're new, it's pretty much the entrance scholarship.
Yeah, the entrance and the gold circle.
Yeah, or like if you do like the gold circle stuff.
I have a friend that got that one.
Yeah, those ones.
That one is really good. The gold circle scholarship.
Oh yeah, circle scholars. They get everything paid
$20,000 and and no, they split it into 4 years. 20,000 divided by 4.
Okay.
But you get free accommodation and free meal.
Okay.
So
yeah, there you go.
You still have to pay Shabbat. It's still something.
So yeah, those options are there. At the graduate level, there's a lot. Depending on like if you're in a research or a course based, it seems like there's more scholarships for research
for graduate, right?
Yeah, for graduate.
You guys have a lot of opportunities.
At least for the research people. The course based, not so much.
It's not much. And it's a bit competitive as well.
It is. Wow. It really is. But at the undergrad level, honestly, just get that community involvement up. Get yourself involved on campus, somehow off campus as well. Typically, you need to write like a 250 word statement.
That's really small.
You know, like it's short, but it needs to be impactful. Yeah. So I found that with me, once I wrote the first one, I would essentially recycle the same thing, but add in all the new stuff I have done. And then I did that every year until the end.
I'm going to start applying now.
Well, the deadline was yesterday.
No, there's some I saw like October 2nd.
October 2nd? Yes. Oh, I thought it was September 20th. I guess graduate ones were September 20th.
Because I saw some like women of science, whatever. It's October 2nd.
Yeah, that makes sense. That'll be
it's
October
like $1,000. I'm like, I'm going to apply.
Yeah.
Because I have experience in tech and stuff. Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. I think we're almost done with this episode, but how do you see the grading system here? Is it tough?
I don't know. I wouldn't lie. Like, all through like my secondary school education, I was like in an American curriculum.
Okay.
So we ran
you were used to it a bit.
Yeah, I would say I was already used to it. I did take like WIAC, but that was because my parents weren't sure where I was going to go to university. So they're like, write WIAC just in case. But that was like, that's a whole story on its own. But like, I think I was already like familiar with how it was going to work. In fact, actually, the grading system here, I think it was simpler. it's easier than high school. Because in high school,
High school.
90 to 100 was an A. But here an A is 80%.
Oh, wow.
Right.
So, like, I went from having to chase 90s to, like,
Just
just chase 80s to achieve the same result.
That's cool.
But, like, at the University of Regina, they're not really looking at that letter. It's like that percentage value is
They
what
just want
matters.
you to pass the course, actually. Like, they have a 65 and above, right?
Yeah, 65 and
Yeah,
above
just
for you to graduate.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
For you to
Is
graduate.
it really a big deal? Like, because they don't even do first class, second class.
They do
Nigeria.
distinction and distinction
Okay,
with
yeah,
honors.
fair
So, and like, I don't know, like, not many people end up with distinction. So, like, in the program, it's pretty cool to see, like, the cool circle next to your name. Or, like, the star to indicate that you're distinction
Put it in your
with
resume.
honors. And, like, it goes on your certificates as well. It's like, oh, this with distinction. So,
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool. Well, for me, like, I went to Unilag before coming here. So then in Nigeria, 70 is an A.
wow.
Like, you don't even have to stress.
How easy was it to get the 70?
It was, I wouldn't say it's that easy because, like, even, let me not say Nigerian professors, but, you might get, but then the professors can also change. You know, like how Nigerian universities are. But yeah, that's
I don't know, actually. I don't know how they are. I don't know
Yeah,
what
but
I said.
like the thing about it is that unlike here, we have assignments every week. You have to do it, but there you don't get stressed. So maybe you can decide to read a day before your exam. You do overnight.
Oh.
That's what we do.
Okay.
You won't
We'll do
survive.
overnight.
You won't survive.
And you will survive. You will still pass. You do
Okay.
overnight the day before exam. You will see people in different classrooms sleep. They will sleep there overnight. But yeah, one thing I realized about
you are just getting
every
your
week.
grade
Yes.
each and every day.
Every week,
So if
you have to be up and doing, because if you relax, you can easily fall out.
Oh, yeah.
And if you don't relax, you can also fall out. I don't know, like, it goes both ways, yeah. So I just realized that, yeah, you have to put in the work to pass, but you can also easily pass, but you have to put in the work.
Yeah.
Then back in Nigeria, from federal university that I went to, even if you don't read, like, even if you just stay for 3 months without reading, you can read the day before the exam, and you can still pass. But yeah, you have to, if you fail your midterms and your assignment, you can fail the course, because like you have
Yeah.
30
You
points
have
to
lost
battle
30
for.
points
That's
already.
true.
So-
That's true.
So it's like here,
But yeah.
from day
You're on
one
your
that
toes.
school reopened,
You have
you're
to
on your
start,
toes till
yeah.
last day of class.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The
And I
way
think that's the reason why they give us that 1 week
break.
break.
Oh.
Well, you see, interesting story about the original 1 week. So apparently, it used to be in like November, and I don't know if this story is true or not, but not specific to like the U of R, but that's the time most university students kill themselves
Cool.
because of all the stress they're under.
Yeah.
So they put a break
Oh,
in that time.
right. So just go relax,
Just go and relax.
get more
'Cause
energy and come back.
Exactly. With the university, you have maybe 1 week of rest when you come in September. You do all the welcome week activities. By the end of September, you're already having, actually, depending on your program, I know with nurses, they have exams by week 2. But like most students, by the end of September, you're probably gearing up for your first midterm, your assignments. You don't stop hearing the word midterm until it's time to write final exam. Because a prof can put a midterm for like end of November, you know, and like so yes, you are on your toes
Yeah.
all the time. You have to keep track of everything, at least at the,
Yeah.
actually, I think even at the graduate level, that's an experience so far. It's like
Yeah.
you have to
You
always
have
be ready.
something. You
There's always
have
something. There's always something,
You
and
always
Like
have
right now, I
something.
even have one assignment due this midnight.
I have one tomorrow to do midnight. It's okay. I just found out about one
something
that's
to
due on
do.
Friday as well. So like, but it's gonna get done, you know.
Find a way
Definitely
to
we'll
do
get
it.
it
One way
done.
or the other, we get it
Yeah.
done.
Yeah. I mean, one of the words we always use here is due dates.
Yeah.
Due dates is a word that when you get to hear, you know.
And when you leave it to when it's due, that's when it becomes a lot.
Yeah.
You find you become very stressed. But if you
and
start
then when
on
it
time,
happens like that, the time is just moving.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's so fast.
12 midnight will feel like it's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's most profs like to set their midnights, but then there are some profs who hand it in at the beginning of class.
I know what you're talking about.
That one is like, whoa, because it's like whiplash, but it's okay. It's all right. It's all right.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Exactly.
Yeah, we would have
Let's
to.
get it done.
You just, next thing you know, it's December. You go again in January, and
Damn, no
the
break.
winter semester feels longer because first it's cold, everybody's sad.
Depression.
And it
Going to
feels
depression.
longer.
Anybody.
You just
don't
be
see
sad
anybody.
unnecessarily.
You're in your room by yourself.
And then it's
It's
April,
cold.
and then you're done. And like, so really just like, it's very important to take every day as it comes, but never lose sight.
Yeah.
We mentioned the importance of the syllabus earlier.
Yeah.
They put all the due dates
That's
in the
something I
syllabus,
like.
and before they can't change the due dates on the syllabus for like a midterm exam
Oh yeah.
without the approval, without the consent of every single student in the class.
Right.
So honestly, once you see that syllabus, study it, print it out if you need to, and mark all the due dates in the calendar. You can mark it in the calendar, maybe set a reminder for
taking
2
notes,
days
okay?
before, and like just have it down. Even sometimes memorize those dates. So like earlier in our conversation, you mentioned there was an assignment due.
Yeah.
I knew the date it was due.
Oh, that's why you were able to mention the date, but you didn't
I knew
know
the date
which
because
assignment it
exactly
was.
I didn't know which assignment it was, but I know no matter what, on October
the date.
7th something is due.
Due.
On October 21st something is due. I don't know what just yet. I'd have to
All
look.
you know is there's a due date,
All I know is it's a due date and it has to be done
and it will be done.
by then. Yeah, and it will be done. Yeah.
Right, sure. Thank you very much, Alfred. I mean, the syllabus is one thing that, I mean, you have to take it serious in every class that you go to. You have to, if anything, the lecturer will just tell you, have you checked the syllabus?
Yeah.
Until you've checked it, you can come and ask him or her any questions.
They also like to use the word course outline, depending on the
course
course outline, syllabus. Those words are interchangeable.
Right,
Yeah.
sure. Do you have anything to say before we wrap
Yeah,
up?
I just like the fact that everything is well organized.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Well.
I know that I have this date to get this done.
Yeah. So all you
But-
have to do as a student is to plan.
Yeah, you just have to plan
plan.
yourself. You just have to be up and doing.
Yeah.
To me, I feel like 24 hours is not even enough for me anymore. Because
It's not.
I just have so much work to do. I have like school jobs. I have like my outside part-time job. So everything is just all over the place. But at the end of the day, you just have to like find a way to make it work. And yeah, if it's to go to church, if it's to hang out with your friends, hang out with your friends. If they're going to motivate you, then just look for that person or that people that, they are going to inspire you to do better.
All right.
Yeah.
You didn't mention something. I'll
what
come
is-
back to you.
What
Alfred.
is that?
You didn't mention that you were a YouTuber too. Just
Oh
please
yeah, you
tell
guys.
them you're
I'm also a YouTuber at Happy X Plus.
Yeah.
Join the family. I post vlogs and I post videos about my life as an international student, and I also post vlogs about me being a tech girl.
Guys, I'll leave a link to her channel on the description, so please check it out. Okay, Happiness Explorer.
Join
Yeah.
the family.
Please join the family. Say something.
Yeah, so like to our point about how things are always like go once you start. I think that's why for international students, settling and getting the priorities
It's
right,
right.
especially when you first come, because you
Nobody's
don't
going to say because you're an international student.
exactly.
Oh, I need to give her a better grade now.
Yeah, no, they're not.
We're all students.
Everybody is a
Actually,
student.
There's no senior, there's no junior.
There's no-
like
It's like you will see someone in year 3 taking the same class with you in year
That's
1.
true.
Because in Nigeria we have year 1, year 2, but just
it's all a mix. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
all
all
a mix.
Yeah.
And like I guess as you go further, you kind of your classes start to thin out. But at the beginning, go. I think there's value in settling down
Yeah.
before you take on too many other responsibilities, because you don't really know how you are as a student yet,
I agree.
or you don't know how if your style as a student corresponds with what is needed for you to succeed. So like there's some serious value in taking your time. I don't have a timeline suggestion, but like at least do your first round of midterms
I agree.
first.
Yeah.
So at that point, you've probably been to like 10 classes of like a particular course. You know what the teacher expects. You know how you learn in the course. You know how to get the most of it. You know how to be efficient. Because you really don't want a situation where you fail a course. If you fail a course, first of all, it's
5.
expensive.
It is expensive. Waste of time.
It's a waste of time. It's a waste of money.
Repetition.
It stays on your GPA.
Yeah.
And I think it's just going to add to like other mental stresses that you might be
Exactly.
having.
Start again.
So anything you can do to minimize that,
Yeah.
you should do it.
You should do it. I agree. Yeah. There you've said it all. And I think in one of the episodes we even mentioned that even before you start work, just get to know your class schedules. Settle in,
that
know
thing
yourself
is very important
before you start. Because indeed, of course, we all like money, so we want to work and make some money. But
You can set
Yeah,
your
if-
timetable yourself. Actually, my timetable is like I'm free anytime from 11:20 in the morning.
Oh, so you
So,
compressed your morning
Yeah,
classes.
like I only have one class each day, and it's like 10:30 to 11:20, and I'm done.
Wow.
I have classes from Monday to Friday, but only in the morning,
Oh,
and then I'm free from the
That's
rest.
true. That there's a lot of flexibility in the system.
Yeah.
There is. So if you're able to start and you know your schedule, when you're even applying for the job and you ask your availability, you are
Anytime
able
from
to
noon.
say, and it makes it easier for
Yeah.
you. Yeah,
For sure.
Right. Sure. So, guys, that's where we bring today's episode to an end. Thank you so much for sticking with us, and I know you have learned something from us. Please remember to subscribe to the Hacks and Wins channel so that you're notified anytime we post a new video. And you can listen to this podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Thank you very much, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. It's bye for now.
Bye.